When Colleen was diagnosed with spinocerebellar ataxia, life presented us with a choice. We could either live in the problem or discover how to live in the solution. Through acceptance, we are living life on life's terms with joy and happiness. We want to share our experience with you, offering hope in your...
Hello everybody, Patrick and Colleen, living on life's terms. Here we are with Colleen's mother, Kathy. Kathy and her husband, Dick, are here visiting us in Yuma. And there's a memory that we want to share with you, and I really needed Kathy here to tell it. This had to do when Colleen and I were camping in the Badlands. There wasn't much that Colleen really wanted to do, except she wanted to go to Wall Drug. And I had no idea what Wall Drug was about. And Colleen had visited there with Kathy and her brother Brian when they were kids. And when I learned about the story, I'm like, this is something that has to be shared because it is just too good. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Kathy, and she can tell you the story about when they visited there when they were children.
Well, the kids were fairly young yet, and I want to say they were probably maybe 10 and 12, and we were giving them an allowance of $2 a day. I know that doesn't sound like much, but you know, about 35 years ago, that was a little more money. And Colleen, of course, was willing to wait and save her money. Brian was one that was always looking for the next shiny object. As soon as he got one, then he needed another one. So we got to, I think we might have already just been in Minnesota, and there were these big billboard signs that said, you know, couple 100 miles to Wall Drug. And so the kids were like, what's Wall Drug? And I said, it's just a gift shop. And so every time Brian saw the Wall Drug sign, oh Mom, we've got to go there, we've got to go there. So we finally get to Wall Drug, and it's a pretty big, but again, just a junky gift shop with all kinds of trinkets that kids just go nuts for. Colleen didn't find anything to spend her money on. Now Brian, this was in the beginning of our trip going out to South Dakota, and he found many things he needed to buy. The one thing he really needed to buy though was a set of cow horns. Now growing up on a farm with hogs and dairy, we clipped the cow horns off of the heifers after they're about a year old so that they didn't cause any problems to my dad or the other cows. So of course, you know, we dehorned all the cattle. And of course they were all just littered on the ground as my dad dehorned all these cattle. And I'm like, seriously, you want to spend your money on something like this? Oh yes, well it was a set of deer horns mounted to look, you know, just a little strap in the middle and then 2 horns. And I'm like, you do know that as soon as you spend your money, because it was like $12, and that was his entire allowance for the entire trip. And he was like, oh Mom, I won't ask for another thing. I won't, I promise. I'm like, no, that hasn't been true in the past. Oh, but I promise. Well, against my better judgment, I did give him the $12. He bought those horns, and by the time we got to the car, he was already talking about the next thing he was going to buy. And needless to say, he begged for a lot of stuff that he didn't get through the entire trip. And when we got home, guess who still had her $12? Colleen, the saver.
Oh my gosh, it was when we went there, you know, I remember, you know, like I said, I had no idea what it was, and Colleen was just like ear to ear grinning walking through the store. So, you know, I saw this and I'm just like, this is tacky. Well, Colleen had to get a bumper sticker. So when we were there, we got this bumper sticker, which we still have, and she had to get a picture outside. So we went outside and there were some people walking by. And you know, when I learned of the story, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that is a precious memory that just has to be recorded, because that was, you know, that was something. You know, knowing Brian, I didn't know him as a child, but I definitely could see that. So what a blessed memory. And so we just thought we would share that with you.
We are enjoying each day to the fullest, living with joy through acceptance. Our wish is that our experience may offer hope to those that may be facing a challenging situation in their life. We welcome you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and take this journey with us. We would love to connect with you. Check us out at livingonlifesterms.com.